Why do people feel bad when they see someone eating alone in public? There seems to be this ongoing trend these past few years of pitying people who are seen eating alone in public. I never really understood it, but it's something I found myself being curious about. Can anyone explain why it's such a big deal? They assume that they're eating alone because they have nobody to go out to eat with. I don't know. I don't get it at all. I'd much rather eat by myself than sit in forced cordiality. I love my own company. I'm hilarious. I have never actually heard or seen anyone question it in real life. But whoever is pitying is a busybody loser if they do. I'm not actually convinced that anyone does. Most people absolutely 100 don't give it a second thought. I don't know. I think it's people honestly projecting their own fear of loneliness and isolation upon others. In the States, extroversion and socializing accumulated networks are seen as acceptable and admirable. I think it's mostly people who don't have a nuanced perspective on varying comfortability. Eating alone doesn't mean friendless. Also, partying a lot doesn't mean infinite friends. Because they don't have children and don't understand the bliss that comes with eating alone. Just ate lunch in a restaurant on my own while reading a book and listening to music in my earbuds. It was a glorious 40 minutes. Pitying. Just mind your business. Maybe I needed to get a couple hours away from the family to get some silence. Do people feel this? People feel this way? No. I think only a very tiny amount of people feel this way. Only insecure people care about this petty shit. I've been eating alone and doing other things by myself in public since late high school. Love it. Smiling face with hearts. I don't give a f about others. This happens to me too often for my liking. People pity me because I'm an old man eating alone. I'm a widower and my only child lives too far away for me to go have meals with his family as often as we would both like. And sometimes I just don't feel like cooking, so I go eat at a restaurant. Am I sad my wife is gone? Yes. But I'm far from being a sad old man. What I am is an old man who isn't the best cook and who gets tired of eating the garbage I cook for myself. For me, going out to eat is a social event. I always feel a twinge of guilt when I see someone eating alone. But that's a me problem. I suspect my anxiety contributes to my guilt. I usually have to remind myself that just because I'm not comfortable in my own company doesn't mean others have to feel the same. I'm working on it though. Ultimately, I just want everyone to be happy, appreciated and loved. I travel for work quite a bit and frequently eat alone in sit-down restaurants. I always kind of felt self-conscious even though there is nothing weird about it, lol. It's not an ongoing trend. Nobody cares. Because they haven't figured out how to be content by themselves. They don't understand this, so they've decided it's bad. Insecure. Happened to me. A group of people invited me to sit with them and I felt so stupid. Because they all talked between each other and totally ignored me. People can't think further than their own navel. And view the eating person exactly like they would view themselves in the same situation. Namely, feeling terrible by having to eat alone, which they would rather swim in dog poo than have to endure. I don't. I see people eating alone all the time. I'll eat a meal alone. I'd see what people think. People don't need to be constantly socializing and not everybody wants to. Sometimes you're just hungry and don't want to go home and cook. It's literally not a big deal at all if you're not in middle high school. Because they can't do it themselves. Conformity. I don't. Haha, do you feel bad for people eating alone in public? That's weird. I like to go eat alone in my car at work. Everyone is always asking if I'm okay. Yes. It's my quiet time. Leave me alone. Humans are social creatures. We naturally seek out company. So it wouldn't surprise me if that plays a part in why we see people on their own as a negative thing. I don't feel bad when it's someone young. I assume they've made the choice to eat out. When it's someone old, I can't help but imagine their life. Are they eating alone because their partner is dead? Do they have children? Are they well taken care of? I travel often for work and I'm always amazed at the older passengers traveling alone. I don't know why. Obviously they still need to travel. But my empathy revs up about 100 notches when a little old lady is shuffling to the airport bar. I used to feel self-conscious about it. But then looked around, there were also quite a few people eating alone. Made me feel less self-conscious. That's genuinely a great question. I think it's just a human nature. Most the time I prefer it. Woman shrugging, light skin tone. Maybe because food used to be harder to get. So people gathered and hunted and then shared everything they had, and that gave them a good feeling of mutual trust, support and cooperation. If you were excluded from the group because of antisocial behavior, you would have probably died. Therefore, when seeing someone, you get a primal fear of exclusion. It's not about that specific person, but about your reflection about your place in society. I'd love to be able to eat alone. I have a baby and a toddler. I'm never alone. I guess some people really are afraid to be considered as lone losers. Some hate or feel uncomfortable with their own company and assume others may feel that as well and cannot enjoy eating alone. And some, I guess it's mainly cultural, in which eating share time with people. I lived in few countries. And some I never saw anyone eating alone. Some I see mainly men eating alone. Some I see tons of women eating alone. Some you see both. This girl at uni once told me that if she can't find someone to eat lunch with, then she won't eat at all. Because eating was strictly social for her. I was like, WTF? I would never go hungry all day just because I'm dependent on other human beings to be with. Feel bad for people who need others to that point. I eat alone all the time and it feels great doing my own thing unbothered. Plus I'm a hungry bitch. But I have dipnophobia. So if you see me eating alone, I'm actually much happier than if I was with someone. I feel bad if I'm eating alone and someone bothers me. I used to go out to eat by myself all the time. Especially going to Denny's at 3 in the morning when I was up late playing games and wasn't ready to go to bed yet. People believe that just because someone is eating alone, that means that they either don't have friends in their life or they are depressed. Makes no sense to me. Some people just enjoy their own company. Dude. You can see I'm in work clothes and I'm chomping on this sandwich like it's gonna expire in 30 seconds. That's because in 30 seconds I'm expected back in work. Worry about your own shit. I'm fine, dude. A lot of people feel awkward when they eat alone, and so they feel awkward on the behalf of others who are eating alone. I'm an introvert and even I don't like eating alone at nice places.